What's up, guys? It is day 40 and a little different to normal. I'm actually recording this on my way home from work on Friday afternoon, so coming into the weekend. It's going to be a big couple of days. Tomorrow I have the Bucks night for one of my best mates. He's getting married next weekend, so we're taking him out for a night on the town. There's going to be video games, there's going to be drinking, there's going to be hamburgers, and there's going to be boats shaped like donuts. It's going to be a pretty cool night, well, day and night. So yeah, tomorrow's going to be hectic, and then Sunday's sort of going to be recovery slash got lunch, brunch with the in-laws, so we can hang out with them, and they can hang out with April and whatnot. So that's going to be fun. Yeah, it's got a pretty long weekend ahead, and I'm starting to think now, like, how am I going to approach this weekend? What am I going to be doing coming into it? Obviously I need to get my half an hour in, which shouldn't be too hard. Tonight I'll be doing my half an hour, so I'm going to be penciling the comics. Tomorrow I intend on getting up early, as I generally do on the Saturdays, and doing probably an hour to 2 hours, if I can manage it, of drawing time. And I'm going to try and spend the majority of that time getting the last lot of pages that are laid out penciled. So that's going to be a bit of a task, and I don't really know if I'm going to be able to manage it. So I'm going to get 2.5 to 3 hours worth of time over the next 2 days to do that, and then I'll have to do another half an hour on Friday. On the Sunday. So a fair chunk of time is going to be going into the pencils this weekend, which is really good. So hopefully by the time Monday rolls around, I'll be ready to go back into the inks again. I do also need to spend some time doing the greys in page 2 and 3, getting the lettering done, and having that ready to upload as well for Tuesday. So my intention for that is, I hope that I can get ahead of myself, which I already am in a way. Once those pages are 100% finished, I can put them on Patreon, and I can just schedule them ahead of time, so I won't forget for a good while, hopefully. So that's sort of the plan there. But yeah, I'm looking forward to just digging into the pencils. It's been a really interesting week this week. I feel like I started the week really strong. I was really happy, like I reached, I passed the 30-day mark. I was really productive over the weekend, got a lot done, got the scanner and started scanning things in, getting those pages ready. But then as the week sort of got on, I don't know whether it's just because of work or just getting tired or whatnot, but I'm starting to feel a bit of a lull. I'm starting to feel a little bit more unmotivated. And I've actually been trying to sort of get back in touch with people I haven't spoken to in a while, who, other comic creators that I admire or consider friends of mine. People that I used to chat to sort of quite regularly. So I've sort of been reaching out to them. One of them being Darren Cross. We've been chatting a little bit more lately. Not heavily, but chatting, and it's been really good talking to him again. And he's always been a huge inspiration just in comics in general. He's the creator of Killaroo, and in Australia, I think that's a pretty big independent comic. It's got a pretty well-known name, a lot of books in his belt, which either he's drawn or he's had other artists draw, and he's written the majority of them. He's really full on about indie comics, and he loves indie comics and really likes to support them. Kevin Cross is another one I've been talking to a fair bit, and Kevin, who I've always supported on Patreon, and we've been following his 100-day journey as well, and seeing the differences that he's going through, especially as like a single father, and quite interesting seeing how he's managing all of that. It's been really great catching up with him, and I just recently upped my pledge to sort of the top tier of his, which I think is just $5 a month. One, means like I really want to help him out, because like I feel like he's going through a bit of a tough time. He's trying to get all this work done and make sure that he can afford to pay his way through life, essentially, as well as raise his daughter and make sure she gets a good life, and he can look after her properly, etc., etc. So you know, I want to do what I can to help the guy out, because he's done inadvertently done so much for me as an inspiration to, you know, being one to be a freelance artist and a comic artist, you know, doing the challenge. So, you know, sort of my part of way, I feel like it's a way of me giving back to him in a sense. So yeah, it's been great, and it's allowed me to actually catch up on a lot of his old hangouts that he does. So if anyone of you who's on his $5 Patreon tier, you know, he does like a monthly hangout, and those get archived within his Patreon feed. So I've been watching those, and it's really cool because he's just talking about processes, or he's been just brutally honest about his life and his experiences, and it's really cool to sort of see that. And I consider Kevin a friend, and I don't have the chance to just sort of go and hang out with a dude, because we are just, you know, worlds apart. We, you know, a big massive water in between the two of us, but I know if we ever hung out for beers, it'd be a good time, and I feel like we could just talk and talk and talk and talk, to the point where we both turned around and said, hey man, we've been talking for too long, we need to go back and make some comics. So getting sort of roundabout to it, yeah, I feel like I'm trying to reconnect myself with the comics community, and I feel like that's really helping me build out of my funk a little bit. It's been great getting in touch with, you know, certain people, and I do want to get in touch with even more people again, but obviously I'm so drained with time. Like, I just kind of want to reach out to people intermittently and go, hey, how you going? And I think I'm going to be doing that, you know, throughout the days, and just getting back in touch with the community that I felt like I got so out of touch of. Getting back into this challenge has really helped that. Like, you know, I feel like I'm part of the hundreds again, and things like that. And even then I still don't really have a chance, or I generally tend to forget to even post stuff in the group. So whenever I do a new video, I just completely forget to. And I think I've only, pardon me, posted about 3 times in the duration of doing this challenge. So I need to make an effort to be posting more. Yeah, so yeah, it's been thinking about, you know, communicating again, and that helps me get motivated by talking to other creators who are creating, so I can create. And yeah, it's just sort of like this really weird shared venture between everyone. I don't know whether they know that they're sort of pushing me to make comics, but they are, and it helps. So yeah, sorry, I just really wanted to sort of talk and get some things off my chest, and just like, I'm driving home from work, and it's generally a boring drive, and I don't know, just I feel like in a thinking mood. And you know, unfortunately you guys are subjected to hearing all my junk. Yeah, thinking about comics, and really was thinking this morning actually, like, about Monkey Junk, and I'm only a few pages in, and was thinking about you know, some other comics I've done, and like, I generally get to a point where I start to get bored with it. And given how long I've been working on Monkey Junk in general, I'm actually surprised with myself that I still have the drive, the motivation to continue working on this comic book. Sometimes I kind of get sick of it. Like, I've done books that aren't my own, and I'll get a few pages in after saying, yeah, cool, no worries, I'll, you know, work on this book with you, and I just get over it. And same with client work. If I'm doing like the children's books and stuff, I get bored of them very quickly, and that, you know, it's not a good thing, because obviously I'm not involved in the project. Whereas Monkey Junk, I haven't had that feeling yet, so it makes me really happy that I haven't, because it gives me a good little sense of confidence that I'm going to be able to see this through. And because I know it's such a long project, and that was actually a little bit of a daunting thought, was thinking about crap, like, have I actually considered how much time I'm going to be investing in this over the next few years into this comic book, and how does that implicate my life and all the things that I do? Is it going to affect my relationship and things like that? And you know, I feel pretty confident that it's not going to. It's like, even like 30 minutes a day surely is not going to be that damaging. You know, as long as I make sure that I spend, you know, a good amount of time with my family and things as well. Yeah. So yeah, just a few daunting thoughts and things, and you know, occasionally I have sort of like those bad thoughts and ideas that try and demotivate me, but I feel like I'm springing back up quite well, and I actually think I owe that a lot to drawing in general. If I wasn't drawing so much now, the bad thoughts would be coming in thick and fast. And one thing I've been thinking of, I thought of it today actually, because Kevin Cross has been talking about how he's putting a lot more of his personal life into Monkey Mod, and he's sort of rewriting things, and got me thinking. I'm like, I've never been the kind of person, or I've never subconsciously been the kind of person who goes, I want to write a story, but I really want to relate this to my life. You know, I want certain things to happen that, you know, are based about what I've done, and this is a way that's going to help me face my demons. And there's definitely been demons in my life, just like anybody else's. But I think I've always used comics as a form of escapism. And reading comics for me doesn't do it. As much as I enjoy reading comics or books or whatever, it doesn't allow me to escape. But writing stories and creating stories, creating worlds, that's where I can escape to. It doesn't have to have anything to do with my life. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the events that have happened over the years to me or to people I know. I mean, there might be some inspirations in there, but never directly. It's more so I just start to come up with ideas where maybe I'm reading something, or I'm driving home and listening to some music. And I've said this before in one of my videos on, I think it was the How to Start Your Comic. Music for me is a great drive of inspiration, and I'll just come up with all these ideas, and I start to develop stories, and I start writing out these little mind maps of, you know, where the story is going, and you know, I'll write a full synopsis about the story. Some of them never go anywhere. You know, I've got tons of files on my Google Drive that just don't go anywhere, but these things just help me disconnect from the world, I suppose. And it's hard because sometimes I get too disconnected and I can tune out, and that tuning out has definitely become an actual habit for me during the day. If I'm working or thinking about something, I just block everything out very quickly. It's actually become a very bad habit at work. You know, Luke's been noticing it lately, where he'll be chatting to me, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, sorry, what were you saying? And he's just like, yeah, that's bad, man. Like, I don't mean to do it, it's just I lose focus on other things and gain that focus somewhere else very quickly. And that's, you know, like there's that old sort of saying, which I've never really liked, but it's like, you know, men can't multitask, but women can. Or I was like, there's definitely moments in my life where I just cannot multitask, and sometimes listening is this, like, that's a skill that I felt like I used to have, but I don't have it as much anymore, mainly because I'd rather be inside my own head, just thinking and creating and stuff. And probably too because now I don't think as many dark or bad thoughts as I used to. Like, I might get down and like my mood will change, but the things that happen in my head aren't the same. The things that happen in my head now are quite positive, or just neutral. It's me thinking about things and processing things, and it's nice. It's nice to be in there, which is, I don't know, could be a scary thing, but I don't mind it. But yeah, I do need to remember to focus on people when they're talking to me. Yeah. But yeah, there's never been that form of, you know, writing out my demons and then resolving things that way. I just create because I want to create. Like, I like to tell stories, and for me, I think a lot of the process too is, and I've been trying to tell stories to my daughter for a little bit, and I've got like an idea of what I want to tell her, but sometimes I struggle and I get myself really stressed out that I can't get the story that I want to tell in my head. And it's more like, okay, well, I've got the scene, I've got the setting, I've got the characters, but what are they going to do? And this probably is in part why I have Lee writing Monkey Junk, because I can put all the building blocks together, but I can put them all in place, but I can never actually put them together and actually create something. At least that's how I've been feeling lately. So I've been trying to use this storytelling exercise with April. I haven't done it in a little while actually, which I really should get back to it, but you know, being so young, her attention span's a bit different. She doesn't just want to sit down and listen to my story because she doesn't understand. But it was nice because I took the characters and I took the settings and I took the environments and everything that were in my head, and I just talked like I'm talking to you guys now. And that was actually one of the best practices I had to develop a storyline and just make things happen, because I had to. I was on the spot. I put myself on the spot and just had to talk. Which is probably why these videos, which is currently taking 15 minutes, I can just go. I have to force myself to do it because I'm in front of an audience and I don't have a choice but to talk. And I have to talk about something and I have to think quickly. But when I'm internally thinking, it doesn't come as quickly, and I feel like there's a huge creative block there. Last night was a perfect example when I was doing the March of Robots sketch. The original sketch I did, I threw away and did another one, but it took me probably an hour to come up with something that I actually really liked. And I probably spent 20 minutes of that just Googling and searching stuff on Facebook and Instagram and trying to come up with ideas and concepts. And I hated it because I was like, if I just keep doing this, I'm just going to start drawing what other people are drawing. I'm just going to be stealing ideas. And that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be original. And I sort of slapped myself after the first one, and then I started actually sketching day 2, so I had something to go into draw straight away today when I get to it this afternoon or this evening. And I sort of loosened up a little bit, and I had to tell myself, I'm like, you know, if you were drawing Monkey Junk, what kind of robots are in Monkey Junk? I was like, oh, okay, well, shit, well, there could be this fucking robot that they have to fight. Cool, that'll do. And that came a lot easier. But the thinking process there was, I was just too concerned about what I was drawing and what it would look like. I didn't just do it. And this is like a weird segue from what I was just talking about, but I suppose it's sort of a lesson to me to just do it. Don't sit there mulling over things and going, what if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't look good, etc., etc. And I should have learned my lesson for the first time, because the first piece of paper I sketched on, I just threw away. I didn't like it, so I threw it away. And then I did another one. I wasn't completely happy with it, but I did it. And then the next one after that was great. But it should have been, that lesson to me is like, just do it. Just put the pencil to paper, sketch it out. Who cares how it looks? If it works, awesome. You know, and learn from that and move on to the next one. And that's why I'm actually really interested in doing this challenge, because I personally feel like I suck at drawing robots. So for me, I have to push myself because I have to draw 31 robots now. So 31 robots in 31 days. I don't know how I'm going to manage it. I feel like I'm going to run out of ideas, but I've undertaken the challenge now. I have to do it. I have to draw these 31 robots. I have to come up with the ideas. So just going to hit the ground running and just figure it out. If I'd stopped to think first, like, okay, well, let's plan out all 31 robots, I don't know if I could actually think up 31 robots and go, oh, I'll draw this one and this one and this one. It's just going to have to a point where, like, well, I've got to do one, it's getting late and the day's nearly over, I just have to draw it. And that helps, I suppose, in a bad way. I have to do it. Yeah, anyway, this has gone on long enough. This is just me having a good rant and ramble, and I thank you guys for listening. I'm going to leave you alone now and move on to the next day, and show you guys what I've been working on. And yeah, I'll try and get some footage from the weekend, because it promises to be quite a bit of a fun one. Just being dudes at a Bucks Day thing. We'll see how wild it gets. Alright guys, catch you soon.
up, guys? So I decided, after thinking about how long yesterday's video was, I'm going to upload this one as just the day 40 video, and then I'm going to do day 41 and 42 as a collected video. Otherwise that video is going to be like God knows how long. You know, the normal weekend videos are like 30 minutes, this one could be like 40-50 minutes, and that's a lot of time. So I figured I'll separate these videos, and I'll keep it short because, well, it's going to be a long one. So last night I did my 30 minutes, and like a champ, finished off page 3. So she's ready to be scanned, and then I can put her into Photoshop and just do the greys and everything. And then this morning, which I'm going to count as day 30 anyway, sorry, day 40, day 40. I pretty much busted out 2 pages of pencils. But I can get a right angle here. I'll turn this light on so you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. So here's the pencils for for page 4. And then also did the pencils for page 5. I've got to say, I'm loving some of these panels, just the way that they're looking. This is the first introduction of Abby, which I'm super excited about. Like, that is just, I love how this has come out. I'm super happy with the way that Lee's written it. I think it's really helped with yeah, the way I draw it. So yeah, really happy with it. I know I'm not going to get much else done today, so this technically is my 30 minutes for day 41, because I've got the Bucks night, which I have to leave at about lunchtime. Starts at 1:30 in the city, and then God knows when I'll be home, but it probably won't be till about midnight. So it's going to be a huge day of just laughs, drinking, and whatever else ends up happening. So really looking forward to that though. And then I'm probably going to lay off the booze for the most part, because I don't want to wake up tomorrow and be hungover, because then I've got to do all the other stuff I've already spoken about. And then obviously I need to work on this, and I need to work on some other stuff. So what I'm doing now that I've done these 2 pages is I'm going to ink, because I'm a smarty pants. I decided to pre-sketch my March of Robots piece. So I'm going to ink that. It's only 7:30 in the morning at the moment, so if I can ink that now, which hopefully take maybe 20 minutes, I'll either do another March of Robots drawing, or because I still have to scan this and then get it ready to post on Instagram, and then send that to Jazz, and she'll post that later today. I'd really like to pencil. I've got 1 more page left ready to get penciled. I'd love to pencil that today, and then it's done, and then all I have to do for the rest of the next week is just ink all those pages. I feel it's really weird, because penciling these pages, I feel like should have taken a lot longer, but they haven't. And I don't know whether that's just because of how simple I've kept things. There's certain panels which have just really minimal backgrounds, so almost no backgrounds. Almost to the point where there was like some panels where I'm like, well, this needs background. I feel like it needs something else, and I'm trying to not do that. But in this case, I mean, there's not a lot of dialogue and things, so I'm trying to make sure that there's information there, so you know where they are, and you know the path that they're taking, and you can sort of follow along, and where Geordie's sort of moving from, and where he's going to. Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'm going to go ink this little guy and get this ready to post later. I hope you guys have a wicked day, and I'll catch you all in the next video for day 41 and 42. Goodbye.